it smells really good. I've been smelling this all day and it's been making me feel really hungry, so I'm really excited to try this now. So yeah, just going to give this a little try. Oh, that's delicious. It's really smooth and creamy. There's definitely a cheese element to it. When my son had this the first time, he said to me it tasted like condensed chicken soup. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Gigi's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis, and in today's video I want to share with you how to make my delicious creamy tomato soup. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make a really delicious creamy tomato soup. So I've made tomato soup in the past before, but I've never made it creamy. I have a slight dairy intolerance, so I always try and use alternatives to cream cheese or cheese. And this time I'm going to be using cashew nuts in this creamy tomato soup. It sounds weird, but trust me, it is really delicious, and I'll be adding those in later. But I wanted to start by putting all of my ingredients into my slow cooker pot. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my beans in here. So I have about 200 grams of cannellini beans that I weighed out last night and I soaked overnight, and then I just cooked them off today. And I've done a recipe on how to cook beans and chickpeas that I'll link in the description box below for you. So I'm just going to add these to the slow cooker pot like so. And then to that, oh, I haven't got it all, waste not, want not. And then to that I am going to add one onion I've just simply peeled, sliced and diced, and then I've got one stick of celery here that I have also just sliced, and then I've got one carrot that I've peeled, sliced and diced, but I've diced it into sort of very small pieces. You don't have to do it very small, I just felt like it today, I don't know why. We are going to blend all of these ingredients together at the end, so it doesn't really matter. But smaller pieces do tend to blend a little bit faster and a little bit easier, especially if you have a slower blender and not one of these high-speed ones. And then I'm going to add some oregano to that as well. So I'm going to add a big heaped teaspoon, 1 to 2 teaspoons of that, or if you have got some fresh, which I did when I first made this recipe, fresh in the garden, then 1 to 2 sprigs is perfect. And then I'm going to add some tamari to this as well. And tamari is a fermented soya sauce, so it's fermented for slightly longer than soya sauce is, and it's gluten-free, which is why I use it, because as well as a dairy intolerance, I also have a gluten intolerance as well. So, but if you wanted to use soya sauce, then you could. And then to that I'm going to add 2 tins of tomatoes. So I've just got some chopped tomatoes here that I'm going to add to the pot. And then to wash the tomato tins out, I'm going to add some chicken stock. So I'm going to use about 200 mils of chicken stock, and I'm just going to add this to the pot as well. If you wanted to make this vegan, then you can use vegetable stock, or you could use bone broth as well if you wanted to. So again, I'm going to add another 100 mils to that, and then just wash it out. And all that simply does is just wash the tins out, so there's no residue left in there. And then I'm going to add some salt and some pepper. So salt and pepper to your taste. You don't have to add it if you don't want to. So yeah, as much or as little as you like. We have a little one in this house who likes spicy suddenly, but he doesn't like it too spicy at the moment. And then I'm just going to stir these ingredients round, and while I'm stirring these ingredients, I just want to say that if you have enjoyed this video today and you want to see more, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you did really enjoy this video, then please feel free to give it a big thumbs up. Everything like that really helps me out, and I would really appreciate it as well. So I've stirred all of these ingredients together. I'm going to pop the lid on, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this on high for about 2 to 3 hours, but if you wanted it to cook for longer, then you could put it on low for 5 to 6 hours. So as I said, I'm just going to leave this to cook and then I will blend everything together at the end of the recipe. The soup has been cooking away for a good 3 hours, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat off and I'm going to remove the lid. I'm just going to leave it on there loosely like that so nothing flies into it. There's no flies around, but you never know, do you? So I'm going to leave the lid loosely on top of the slow cooker pot and I'm going to let this cool down and then I will blend it with the cashew nuts and everything else, and hopefully we will have a delicious creamy soup by the end of this. I've left the soup to cool for a good hour and it is cool enough to touch now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the contents of the slow cooker pot into the blender cup. I might actually just take that off and just do it this way because it's easier. So I'm just going to pour all of this into the blender cup and then I will blend all these ingredients together. This, by the way, is a really delicious soup to make at a weekend and then freeze. And then this makes a really quick meal during the week as well. So yes, it's really simple and easy. You can also double up on the ingredients as well for this meal. We're going to be serving this with chips. We're going to be serving this with toast. Boys are going to have this with cheesy toast tonight, and I'm probably going to have some chickpea flour wraps. So I've taken that all out of the bottom, and I've got to go and get the cream cheese now, or the cashew nuts and some nutritional yeast. I have taken the cashew nuts from the fridge, and last night I weighed out about 100 grams of cashew nuts and then I poured enough milk over the top to cover them. I'm using oat milk because that's the best one I can find, and also I still have that dairy intolerance as well. But if you wanted to use ordinary milk or another type of milk for this, then you can. And I'm just going to pour that in the top of my food processor, or blender, sorry, and hope that it fits. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to add two big heaped tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Now nutritional yeast is like cheese, but it doesn't melt like cheese. It's not a yeast. It's actually a plant. I don't know why they call it yeast, they just do. It is in fact full of nutrition, it's really good for you. But if you can't get nutritional yeast and you don't have a dairy intolerance, then you could always use something like Parmesan in this if you wanted to. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend all of these ingredients together. Soup until it is smooth, and I did need to blend it a few times, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour the soup into my slow cooker pot like so. As you can see, it's completely changed colour from that dark red. It almost looks like salmon pink from here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the hob and I'm going to heat it through, and then once it's heated through I will come back and I will let you know how it tastes. The soup is now heated and I've served myself some of it as well, and I'm just going to give it a little try. It smells really good. I've been smelling this all day and it's been making me feel really hungry, so I'm really excited to try this now. So yeah, just going to give this a little try. Oh, that's delicious. It's really smooth and creamy. There's definitely a cheese element to it. When my son had this the first time, he said to me it tasted like condensed chicken soup. So I don't know where he's got that from, but if you like condensed chicken soup, then this is the soup for you. But I still think it tastes like tomato, but a really smooth and creamy tomato. So I'm looking forward to having this for my dinner this evening. That's how you make my delicious creamy tomato soup, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be having this for our dinner this evening, and it smells and tastes so good, I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye!